let's just say it right. Aaron Boone's the best manager in baseball. Let's just say it the way it is. The New York Yankees have the best record in baseball in the month of May. Why is that? Because steady as she goes, boys. Steady as she goes.
Steady as she goes.
Steady as she goes. Steady as she goes.
That's the only lines I know.
That's all I got. Hey, good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
Listen, New
I'm
York
happy.
Mets, after the game we saw last week, in which we thought maybe this is the little, the point where things go differently in a good way. Haven't lost since. New York Yankees, hottest team in the month of May. New York baseball's back.
Sometimes things happen, and you can pinpoint the moment everything changed. A week ago, I'm sitting at Citi Field on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
The Mets get beat up by the Rays. Justin Verlander gets booed off the mound.
Right.
Starling Marte booed. Everybody booed. That was Tuesday. 5 days later, Justin Verlander is getting a raucous standing ovation.
That's
like
right.
He's a god as he walks off the mound. And 5 wins later, we were gone for a while, but we're back.
We're back. Listen, New York baseball all of a sudden is in a pretty good place, and I know that's temperamental and it changes like the wind does because on the Mets side, every win it seems like in the last at-bat, and they're overcoming obstacles and multi-run deficits, and who's going to be the hero tonight, and oh my God, the bullpen blows a guy, blah, 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 blah. And then you have, let's be honest, the most viral moment in New York baseball in a very, very long time. And I'm not talking about Aaron Judge hitting 62 or 3.
No.
I'm not talking about a double play that you've never seen before. Great catch by Nimmo. We'll all agree. The most viral baseball moment in New York City, arguably,
Yes.
since the Yankees beat the Phillies in 2009, was Pete Alonso standing at the top of the dugout, dry humping and thrusting his body like he was on Secretariat,
Damn
coming
right.
down the stretch at the Preakness into God's thin air.
That's right.
Woo!
And guess what? I think I'm not the only one who can say this. It inspired me.
I'll do you one better. I think he got half of Queens pregnant.
He may have. Well, the best
That's what I
part
thought.
is, and I never realized this until it was captured and shown in a loop.
Oh, I have to be watching it live on TV.
No, but Pete has dry humped forever.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
I never knew that.
He's addicted to dry humping
Well,
when he's excited.
in this case, it's an air hump.
Air hump.
He's an air humper.
Yes, you're right.
Dry humping is much different.
Oh, you're right. I phrased it
It involves
incorrectly.
someone's leg,
No, you're right.
a pair of jeans,
Air humping.
and high school ID.
Now, he does. I don't know if you noticed this. When the Mets win a game,
Yeah.
the entire infield comes together and they hump each other.
Air hump.
They all do it.
Now, I would hope that the guys, and I know they all have a great sense of humor,
Yes.
and I know we have a comedy event coming up in a couple weeks at the Paramount. That's going to be done on stage,
Of course.
by a lot of people.
Of course. And you know what's funny? So Friday night, I'm very far behind on the game. I finally finished it at 1 a.m. I was very excited. I received a text message from someone who wanted to show me the air hump.
Yeah.
And that person sent it to me in a very mockish way, in a very look at this clown kind of way. Look at this guy. What a buffoon. And you know who that person was? You want one guess?
Whom?
Chris Big Mac McMonagle.
Is that right, Chris? Why
Big
is
Mac,
that? Are you
what's
jealous?
the issue? Are you jealous that
No,
your
I'm
team
not jealous.
doesn't air hump the way Pete does?
No, I'm not jealous at all about air humping. I'm just saying, I'm right about
Well,
the guy. I'm right about
You're
the
right
guy.
about what?
About Alonzo.
Oh, come on. That was natural. That was organic. That's
I'm-
the guy saying, I've carried this team offensively. It's time for other guys to show up. And he's there in the dugout, and other guys are getting hits
Yes.
to lead the Mets comeback.
Yes.
And he was so happy he couldn't
Oh, come
contain
on.
himself.
Yes.
It's corny.
Look
Come
at
on.
corny.
Matter of
It's
fact,
corny.
guess what? Guess what I heard?
What?
I heard that this Friday at DJ's in Belmar, we are having a Pete Alonso air humping competition.
I'm in.
And the winner's getting a couple tickets to a game. How about that?
I also want to inform that I want to enter that contest.
You're in.
Because I got to tell you, after the entire weekend of Met baseball, including Pete's Grand Slam Friday and Alvarez on the 0-2 pitch and the awesome comeback on Sunday after they blew the lead and the Verlander game, you know what I was doing? I was air humping.
I don't know what that is. Don't do that.
Dry humping, guys.
Please tell me you got that on camera. I'm begging you to have that on camera.
I was air humping, baby. Because I'm pumped.
Save your hip thrusting for Friday.
You got it.
You got to save up your energy for that. Yeah. Here we go. That's how Evan hair humps. Puts the lips in my side like my leg is broken. Shaking and twitching kind of like it was smoking. Yeah, anyhow, we're having a Pete Alonso air hump competition
Can you imagine
on Friday.
if the Mets carry an 8-game winning streak into DJ's on Friday? I'm going to air hump like I've never air humped before,
There's going to be a lot of people in Belmar getting pregnant on Friday afternoon.
Go!
I can tell you that much. Meanwhile, so the Mets are red hot. Good to give them credit. And it all, I think, to be fair, Evan, you know better than me, has coincided with the decision to play and bring up the young guys, right?
Yes, it certainly
They've
has
been a
worked
big
out.
part of all these wins.
They have, and I also want to inform my friends listening another little factoid. Since the prodigal son was recalled from Syracuse, since your savior from 7 years ago appeared in orange and blue,
Sanchez.
the New York Mets have not lost a game with Gary Sanchez on the Met roster.
And they're sending Alvarez down.
No, that's not. No.
I thought when Nito comes back, it's going to be Nito and Sanchez.
No.
Anyhow, that's the Mets side. And on the Yankees side, look, say what you want about not winning World Series. It's fair. It's accurate. It's on the table. But for a team that's been besieged by major injuries, Stanton hasn't played in over a month. Obviously, Judge missed, a week plus, and all the other injuries that you're aware of. The non-performance out of Donaldson, the IKF crap, finally DFAing Aaron Hicks, and all the nonsense that's come with this pitching staff as well. No true closer, on and on and on. At some point, and I know you hate to do it, someone does have to acknowledge that Aaron Boone is a damn good manager. And Aaron Boone getting thrown out again. Third time already this year. He's been thrown out in more games than Billy Martin. Thrown out in more games than Earl Weaver. And you have to acknowledge that he's got his finger on the right pulse of the Yankees right now in the moment.
Look, he's done a fantastic job, but you know what helps? Aaron Judge playing and hitting a home run every single day.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
And that reminds you of last year, because last year Aaron Judge was the most valuable of most valuable players. And since he's come back from his latest injury, he's done exactly that. Now, he doesn't play yesterday because Booney loves his back-to-back off-day strategy.
Right.
And the Yankees win anyway. But you mentioned the DFAing of Aaron Hicks. Even though we kind of took a break from it because the Yankees started winning and Aaron Hicks started performing. So you got a few days of no one really bringing that up. The Yankees showed you something here.
Yes.
Because you saw the Yankees eat a lot of money on a player just to send them away. And I heard when he was DFA'd a lot of conspiracy theories on why now he was hitting. This doesn't make sense. Almost like a mild defense of Aaron Hicks. I think it's pretty simple, and this would inspire me if I'm a Yankee fan. They saw Greg Allen, who is what he is, by the way.
Right.
He's a perfect pinch runner off the bench, and we saw that on Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yep.
He comes off the bench as a pinch runner, and he contributes. I think the Yankees basically said, we have someone who fits this roster better than Aaron Hicks.
Yeah.
I think it's as simple as that. We have a guy who's used to being a utility player. We have a guy that's going to be more valuable to us.
Well, stop on the first one. In other words, he's not going to complain about not getting playing time outside of a very specific role.
Because he knows his role.
Yeah.
And while Aaron Hicks, I guess, could be that late inning pinch runner, Greg Allen's better at it. I mean, look at Saturday. They need a ghost runner in the 10th inning.
Right.
What better than sending Greg Allen up as a pinch runner? So I don't think it's complicated. I don't think it's Aaron Hicks was pissed he was pinch hit for Friday night, and that was it. I don't think it's, hey, let's send him out on a good note. He's hot. I think it was simply Brian Cashman saying, oh, we can bring Greg Allen back.
Right.
He's a better option on this roster than Aaron Hicks. And so they wrote a big check, or they're going to write a big check, to have this guy go away.
Yeah,
and
listen,
the Yankee roster is better for it.
It was overdue. Every Yankee fan knows that. Aaron Hicks in his heart has to know that. And the fact that the Yankees finally came around to doing it, I don't applaud them for it because I believe it should have been done much earlier, meaning like a year ago. But they finally got it done.
But you know what it leads to? It leads to, okay, you did that with Aaron Hicks. Now, when Josh Donaldson comes back
Do you
from
do
the
the same
IL
thing, right?
and he starts off 1 for 17 and he doesn't have a role because he shouldn't play every day, are you going to do that with him? Does this start the trend of Hal just flushing bad contracts down the drain?
Well, we'll get into all of it, but it's really been a fun weekend. And for two teams that have been through it pretty good off and on, the fact that the Yankees, along with the Dodgers, have the best record in the month of May, the fact that the New York Mets, I don't want to overstate it, but it feels like kind of salvaged the first half of the season with this little 5-game win streak. Right now, I think everybody is feeling pretty good getting ready for Memorial Day weekend.
You know what it's a reminder of?
Go ahead.
And I have to give the man credit. I know you love to do it, but I got to join in. It reminds me of something Aaron Boone said 2 weeks ago. And I remember when he said it, as it came out of his mouth, I said, preach, Aaron, preach, Aaron. And it turned out a few weeks later, as everything feels different, that those words are so true. And those words were very simply, it's a long-ass season.
That's right.
And when things look bleak, and they have looked bleak for both teams, you know that on a dime, it can change. The New York Mets 6 days ago looked dead in the water. If you wake up today, they're in a playoff spot. Now, what does that mean? If you're not there in October, doesn't mean anything. But on May 22nd, despite how bad things looked, they're in a playoff spot. It's a long-ass baseball season. And right now, and let's enjoy this moment because it may not last forever, both New York teams are on that high. They're on the top of the roller coaster.
And from a Yankee perspective, you're fighting against the greatest start in 100 years in Major League Baseball that the Tampa Bay Rays did, and you're 5.5 games out. And you gained 3 games in the last 10 you played. So everybody's trending in a positive way.
There was only a few negatives that I apologize, but I have to point out. Number one,
you had to sit with Reggie at last night's Met game?
I had a great time with Reggie.
Oh, okay.
A fun time. I even got the Jose Ramirez home run ball. My son did. The one that went in the upper deck. They threw it on the field. It ended up with a ball boy. It ended up with a security guard. It ended up with Jet. But number one, can we address the fact that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa spat at Harrison Bader? Did you not see that? They collided in the outfield at about 12:45 because of that early start time.
Yeah.
And they looked at each other all disgusted. And then IKF hocked a loogie at Harrison Bader. That's controversy number one. I apologize. I'm just letting you know what happened. And here's controversy number two.
Go ahead.
Can any of your starting pitchers just not use sticky stuff? I mean, here we have it again. Clark Schmidt. Oh, no. It's a fuzzy thing on his glove. Well, here's the bad news.
It was on his wrist.
Here's the bad news.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me? And this is where Big Mac's going to have a problem.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Can you explain to me why Clark Schmidt's spin rates were through the roof on Friday?
Yeah.
I'll hang up and listen and take your call off air.
Yeah. Love the show. First time, long time.
Clark Schmidt, who
I can't explain
usually
that.
sucks, washes his hands, he gets the fuzzy thing off, but yet that spin rate was through the roof. I don't blame David Bell. David Bell's like, what the hell's going on here? Why is this guy still in the game? Yeah. So how many games in a row are you guys going to have to wash your hands, get your hands checked? It sounds like, Craig, the Yankees, and God bless them for doing it because it's working, it sounds like they got a thing going on.
Seems like you cheat until you get caught. I mean, and you just rotate who sits out for 10 games. Do you want a quick comment on that? Then we'll take a break.
No, I don't think there needs to be a comment to that nonsense. It's fine. I think that it was on his wrist, and the umpire said it's fine.
Do you feel vindicated
in every way?
Continued support of both Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman with the performance thus far in the month of May by your favorite team?
I feel a little vindicated, to be fair. When they were the best team in baseball for 3 months, I felt vindicated last year, and then they fell on their face.
Right.
So I'm gonna hold my vindication and put it on the side. But yeah, I feel pretty damn good about this.
You have to, and Big Mac's marks for this, you have to hold your vindication until you're sitting there at a parade. Because that's the bar.
At least the World Series appearance.
Okay, World Series, that's the bar. And while, things looked bleak a couple of weeks ago and things are much, much better now, you know this, the expectation is championship.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're right. It would be like Robert Saleh cashing in on his receipts in the middle of November saying, hey, look at our record.
Well, the one vindication I will say is I believe that they are showing that they're a team capable of that. And I think a lot of the fan base and a lot of the detractors told you they were not, and they are. They are capable of getting there.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know if they will,
Here's
but
the
they
good
are
news.
they are a good enough
Here's
team
the
and
good news.
capable of being there.
You've got the best manager in all of baseball sitting in your dugout, a guy willing to get tossed repeatedly to make a point.
Hey, listen.
And I love it.
The only thing that could break you apart is the fact that you have a left fielder spitting out a center fielder. Outside of that,
We'll get into it.
outside of that, you're all good.
We got lots to do today. It's Monday. Obviously, got some hoops. You got a chance for a sweep tonight with the Nuggets and Lakers. We got some football news as well. Mekhi Becton talking out about the New York Jets in a negative way. We'll get into that and lots more.